Well, for 27 years, Muvhango has been a staple of South African television, weaving rich storytelling and cultural narratives that have captivated audiences across the nation. And you'll be happy to know the television series will be returning to SABC 2 starting from the 5th of August 2024. That is on Monday. So this new season will also introduce fresh faces such as legendary actress Leleti Khumalo, who will portray Dr Nonhlanhla Ximba. It's a former medical doctor turned successful businesswoman. And so this morning, we're going to be in conversation with the executive producer of the show, Duma Ndlovu, is joining us virtually. A very good morning to you, Duma, and thank you for your time at this hour.
Good morning to you and good morning to all the viewers. And thank you for having us.
Well, the nation is excited. Muvhango returns. We've obviously been watching the reruns of Muvhango and the series, how far back it dates. Perhaps at this point you could share with us what your experience has been like working on the production over these years.
Well, it's been incredible, and particularly for the last 2 weeks, Lizelle, to sit and watch and reminisce and be taken back. You then realize how much of an impact you've had over society on a period of a whole generation. I mean, 27 years is a lifetime. Our children who were born the same time with Muvhango are now grown and ready to have their own families and stuff like that. But it is humbling as well, because we then realize that in some kind of way, in a small way, we contributed towards changing the face of our nation, particularly for the people of Limpopo and the Venda-speaking people. Venda language was one of the smallest, if not the smallest language in South Africa, in terms of numbers, in terms of recognition, in terms of just people knowing about Chivenda. But after Muvhango, I think right now there's large consciousness across the board, to the extent that even God gifted us with a Venda-speaking president. And I think in a little way, we have contributed to that development up until now. And sometimes you don't see that impact. And we've reflected on that and we are humbled.
No, absolutely. Representation is important. And also, just as you alluded to, we've grown up on this. We've been raised by this. It's very nostalgic as well. And so looking at the 27 years of producing, sharing the story that's relatable, that restores agency as well. How do you think over all these years with storylines, you've managed to capture the hearts of South Africans over these 27 years? Highlights that come to mind, events or particular stories that you'd like to recount?
I think it started from the beginning when one consciously wanted to tell authentic South African stories, which sounds like an anomaly to say that you wanted to tell authentic South African stories in South Africa. But I mean, generationally, we know that television and storytelling has been affected and influenced by the West. So we wanted to come and tell South Africans, this is who we are. In terms of the stories, I think the whole 27 years has had its own highlights. I can think of 27 different stories that really stood out over the years. And I think it would be unfair for me to point out at one of them. Of course, the rivalry between Tandaza and Dubsi was one that took the show to young viewers and kind of just brought everybody together. But in later years, we started seeing a lot of massive, big actors being developed in Muvhango. Whether you're talking about Azwindini himself, who's the chief, or you're talking about Buhle Samuels, who was one of the actors that we introduced, or you're talking about James, or I can go on and on and on. It becomes unfair now to mention others. But
Sure.
I think at every step of the way, we've been groundbreaking, and that has been very exciting.
I mean, for me, Dingan, Khumalo, Gabriel as well. I mean, they're part of my own childhood. And I wonder, looking at someone like Gabriel Temudzani, who's been with the show since its inception, how does that make you feel as an executive producer? What does it also add to the richness, the depthness of what's on offer through Muvhango as well?
Last night I spent 5 hours with Gabriel. We were driving. We are actually in Venda right now. So I got a chance to talk to him for 5 hours, sitting next to each other. He has grown. He's now a parent. He's now an adult. He's now matured. And, we said this and we both had tears in our eyes. I raised him. Now he is somebody who's now he has the potential of looking after me. I mean, that is history. That is handing down the baton. Gabriel is going to be taking a step now. He's going to move on, and I don't want to talk too much, but he's developing into other things. But to watch him from an 18-year-old young person to what he is today, it is amazing. And I feel like he's my own son, you know.
Well, it's certainly a face that, you know, has become a household name in South Africa. And perhaps as we look ahead to Monday, just for the interest of time, perhaps you could give us a sneak peek about what we can expect. I know you're pulling the likes of Leleti Khumalo as well as some of the new faces that are going to be adding on to this 27-year journey.
This is another milestone. This is another effort for us to say we want to pull in other viewers. We want to expand our horizon. And this is another time when we say we're taking Muvhango to another level. And I hope to God that we're going to be as successful as we have been before in just lifting our performance and our offering just a notch. And we want to thank the broadcaster, the SABC, for giving us this opportunity again. But I think viewers will be very, very excited and happy.
All right, Muvhango returned to SABC2 with a twist. Duma Ndlovu, thank you for your time at this hour and for weighing in ahead of that debut where Muvhango returns for season 26 as of Monday, the 5th of August, with a significant transformation. I was just in conversation with the executive producer of the show, Duma Ndlovu.